What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lantern, bringing you guys our Week 2 match against Brett and the Magcargo Brett-Aviv. And I just realized I did the Ladner Lantern intro again. I'm here as the Surrey Stingers in this league, of course, and we're taking on Brett. So we took on Brett last season in D3. We both got promoted to D2. Yeah, he's got a very comfortable team with a lot of wall breakers on it. So let's run through his team here. He's got Kyurem-Black, Megazam, Zeraora, Suicune, Blacephalon, Klefki, Licky, Hoopa-Unbound, Gourgeist, and Rhydon. I wasn't really expecting the Gourgeist to the Rhydon. Rhydon for sure. Gourgeist I was iffy on. It does function as a very good physical check to a lot of my physical attackers. And Braviary didn't really have a great matchup against him, so he was relatively safe in bringing it. Heatmore's obviously not necessarily coming to break through Gourgeist, so he had a lot to work with there. Drapion can't really beat a physically defensive set. Neither can Megalopony without like power up punch, sub shenanigans, which actually that set would have performed pretty well given what I know about his team post-game. That set could have been pretty good there. But we didn't bring that. And Licky didn't come, so Fat Wish Passer didn't come. He's also got no way to prevent status, so if I can get a ToXiC off on the Gourgeist, that is going to be pretty good, actually. Getting a ToXiC off on it is pretty important to wear it down for the wide variety of physical attackers on my team. I am running Shadow Claw on the Salamence to hit it a little bit better, but based on the calc, it seems that Outrage does more unless I crit the Shadow Claw. Yeah. No Suicune. I didn't prep that well for Suicune, but he didn't bother bringing it anyways. Maybe Roserade, the idea of Roserade plus Raikou, pushed him away from the idea of bringing Suicune. Blacephalon I was very prepared for with the Drapion, and I didn't think Blacephalon had a fantastic matchup in the first place. So no Blacephalon. Klefki, he's so annoying, man. He drafts Klefki like all the time, and it's just super obnoxious Mon. Prankster, Spikes, and Screens is just super AIDS. Zeraora is another AIDS Pokemon, especially against Megalopony, because I can't click normal attacks against it. It'll just Plasma Fist me to start off with, and then I won't be able to hit it back with a return. The good news is that I can click Quick Attack against it if necessary, but that's only because I go before Plasma Fists. So, yeah, and I didn't think about that in-game, so that's something post-game that I'm discovering now. So I am just going to lead with my Raikou. I figured it was kind of the best lead against anything he could bring. I can sit in front of the Hoopa-Unbound, get a ToXiC off or discharge, ToXiC the Zeraora, any of those things. So that's what I'm going to do turn 1, is I'm going to lead Raikou, and I'm going to click Protect, actually, on the Zeraora, see what he wants to hit me with as he actually goes for Workup. So this is really bad, because now this is a setup Zeraora in my face. Probably a mix set, given the Workup, and what I discover later, he shows no Life Orb here as he hits me with Plasma Fist. I don't know if he has close combat or not, but I missed the ToXiC. So this is the first ToXiC miss of the game. I am going to miss another one. This one's a lot less relevant, although it is relevant to the end of the game. So that ToXiC miss really sucks. 90% is just whatever, man. Klefki's immune. I'm going to discharge Klefki as he ToXiCs me. I'm not super concerned. Sorry, I sub as he ToXiCs me because I didn't think he could Thunder Wave me, and he's actually bringing the ToXiC, which, okay. Light Screen comes off there. I'm doing pretty much nothing. I don't get a para, which also sucks. I have to switch here. I'm not trying to let my Raikou just die to ToXiC damage. So I'm just going to go hard Clef and get a Heal Bell off. So he's going to go hard Zam here. No, actually, instead I double in Salamence. I don't remember why I did that. I just played this game. How did I not know that? Okay, so I think I went Salamence, realizing, he showed Light Screen, ToXiC, and Spikes. It's not likely he's got Thunder Wave on the Klefki. I'm fine with taking a ToXiC with Mence if I can get a Defog off. But because he went for the Light Screen first, I can just click Shadow Claw against Megazam here. He thought he was faster than me, but I am Scarfed, and so he goes for Sub, which is just kind of a wasted turn for him, and he ends up getting his Zam a little bit weakened. Klefki comes in and takes a little bit more damage, and now I have to swap out. So I'm going to go Heart Jirachi on what is actually a ToXiC. So make a good read there, and Ironhead's actually going to bop this thing as he sets up another layer of Spikes. It's going to do 33, so I'm two-shotting it with Ironhead. I'm just going to U-turn out this turn to go into my Salamence and get a Defog off, but he is going to go Gourgeist. So I go into my Clefable instead and get a Heal Bell off. Again, I don't have great... We see it's physically defensive based on the damage that I did to it with the Hoopa there. Oh, did I just click Moonblast instead? No, I'm pretty sure I clicked Heal Bell. Yeah, there's the Heal Bell. So no more ToXiC on my Raikou, which is very good for now. Hoopa-Unbound comes in. I'm trying to scout out what set this is going to be. So I don't necessarily think Clefable's that useful overall. It's mainly a secondary answer to a few things. And it was my primary answer to Hoopa in the first place. If he's banded Gunk Shot, he'll kill me. That's the only way he kills me here. Spec Psychic doesn't kill me because I'm very specially defensive. And he shows to be Scarf Thunderbolt, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Scarfed. He got a relevant crit. I got an irrelevant crit. You know, his relevant crit weakened my Clefable. Moonblast was already two-shotting Hoopa-Unbound. And so the fact that he lives doesn't mean jack shit here. On the crit, I actually max rolled crit him, but it was two-shotting him. Because he looks to be no bulk Hoopa. I'd imagine he's just max speed to speed type Breviary. So yeah, I'm not, again, irrelevant crits from my side. I missed the ToXiC. I am getting a little bit of bad luck here. So I am just going to click something again. Oh, I clicked soft boiled to get up to full. So, you know, his relevant crit becomes irrelevant now that I've clicked soft boiled. You know, my clef's at full. It doesn't really matter anymore. Mence comes in here. I'm fine clicking defog here, especially considering he clicked reflect. He hadn't seen defog yet. So the fact that he clicked reflect there just made it a higher value defog. It was already a high value defog getting away with triple spike slayers. But now I can just go into my Jirachi here. He's going to get another layer up. And he's going to put up a reflect as I click U-turn. No, he's not. He's going to go Gourgeist as I click U-turn? I click Iron Head instead. Okay, I was just trying to kill the Klefki there. And now I'm going to go for a ToXiC on the Gourgeist, and I miss. And this one is the big one. So missing the ToXiC on the Zeraora is a little bit big because it's going to come in later. But missing the ToXiC on the Gourgeist really was necessary to wear it down for my physical attackers. You know, I know this thing is going to have Synthesis because it's Rocky Helmet. There's no way he doesn't have Synthesis. He can't just rely on Leech Seed recovery. It's not going to be enough for him to continuously switch into my physical attackers. It is his only way to switch into my physical attackers. You know, he's got quadruple wall breakers there, and then, you know, Klefki for utility and Gourgeist is his only defensive pivot, really. So I'm a little bit mad about that ToXiC miss post-game, actually. This ToXiC miss matters quite a bit. So I am just going to hard swap into Clefable here on the Will-O-Wisp. I mean, showing Will-O-Wisp doesn't really matter all that much. It was likely to have Will-O-Wisp to shut down my physical attackers anyways. I'm not going to let my Jirachi get Will-O-Wisp for free. I didn't want to take the Rocky Helmet damage either, so there's no way I'm clicking U-turn. I need to get rid of the Leech Seed. Excuse me. So I'm just going to go for Rocks. And that was a misplay on my part. I should have just gone for Moonblast. It's kind of irrelevant in the end here, because I'm just going to have to click Defog against this Klefki. I'm going to U-turn into my Salamence to click Defog again. You know, he knows that I'm clicking Defog, so he goes for the ToXiC here. That's fine. Unfortunately, my rocks are gone, which does suck. It would mean that the Hoopa just dies. The Zam is at... What's the Zam at? Hello? Zam's at 15%, so it wouldn't straight up die. But, you know, Megalop comes in here. I can kill the Klefki through the Reflect. Not super relevant. But it is relevant that he gets up the Reflect against my entirely physical team here. Because now that Zeraora is in, and this thing is going to set up and start claiming kills. The issue is that if this was ToXiC'd, it wouldn't be able to do this for as long as it does behind the Reflect. We're going to see that he is like Clay Klefki. I wasn't entirely sure on the item, but he is like Clay. He was running dual screens like Clay. So I'm just going to go hard Raikou. I expected him to click Workup, to be honest, but I guess he probably wanted to click Plasma Fist in case I was going to stay in with the Lopunny. I also was expecting him to click Close Combat, because Close Combat was going to kill my Lopunny after a layer of spikes with the bulk that I had. Plasma Fist was not going to kill me. And Drain Punch, I could have actually just clicked Drain Punch there and gotten a shitload of health back and been able to deal with this Zeraora. But instead, he's just going to go for the Plasma Fist, and he's going to two-shot my Raikou. Raikou obviously can't do anything. I clicked ToXiC there in case he choked and clicked Workup. It wouldn't have been a choke if he clicked Workup anyways, but now he's going to click Workup on my Clefable. We're going to see he's got quite a little bit of bulk on him there. Moonblast was looking like it was going to two-shot, but instead I'm just going to go into my Jirachi and chew this Plasma Fist. Not. Going to my Clefable here. I went into Jirachi there thinking I might be able to wear down the Reflect because that was the last turn, but now we see it's Light Clay. Clefable's not going to be able to kill this. Again, I considered clicking Soft Boil. It's not worth it. He's doing 70. So I'm going for the Moonblast crit. I don't get it. And Clefable's going to have to drop here too, unfortunately. I was fine with sacking those. So I realized, A, I don't need Jirachi for KB. B, I don't need Clefable for KB. Because I suspect the Hoopa is scarfed, I don't imagine that the Kyurem-Black is going to be scarfed. You know, it can't be Z-move either, so it's a little bit less of a threat. He likes his Assault Vest sets. He brought AV Kyurem-Black against me last season, so I don't know, maybe he brings AV again. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe as a Raikou check. You know, my team's not very specially offensive. Rose Raid maybe, you know, special Jirachi in that case, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to bring in my Salamence here. It's my only way to deal with this, and I'm just going to click Outrage. My best way to deal with the Gourgeist, he's going to end up sacking his Mega Zam and giving me +1 though. So now I'm going to get into a war here with the Gourgeist. At +1, I am two-shotting this, so he's got to click Synthesis. He can't burn me because I'm ToXiC. So he's just continuously synthesizing here. If I get a crit Outrage, I'm in a really solid spot, but in fact, I get locked in for 3 turns, which makes me take more Rocky Helmet damage and more ToXiC damage, and I've barely weakened this Gourgeist at all. I'm going to double into my Drapion here, as he's actually going to double, expecting me to switch into the Hoopa-Unbound. I was going to die to ToXiC that turn, so I had to swap here. His Scarf Thunderbolt is not going to do that much to me. I just get to Pursuit this for free. And I was going to go into Kyurem-Black on my Drapion. So he's clicking Earth Power. There's no reason for me not to just click Knockoff against this thing. It's my best way to hit it. I'm very defensive Drapion. I have no offensive investment whatsoever. So I'm not expecting this to do a lot, but I can at least scout out the item, get rid of its item. You know, if it is a double Scarfer, then I can get rid of that, and then Mega Lopunny can come in and deal with it. Regardless if it was Scarfed or not, Salamence was able to deal with it because I'm Scarf Salamence. So he's going to go for the Earth Power and crit me. That one is a little bit, that one maybe matters a little bit. It was a roll for him to two-shot me with that because I'm Assault Vest with a lot of special defense investment. So the fact that he crit me there means I get 1 less turn of damage off on the Kyurem-Black, which we'll see is going to end up being completely irrelevant here. As he's just going to two-shot me with the Earth Power. Anyways, you know, I may have got an extra hit, but it's irrelevant because I go into Mega Lopunny and just claim my kill. Now, I talked to him after the game, and I'm thinking this might have been a choke on my part. He said he would not have gone Gourgeist. Sorry, did he say more than likely to going Gourgeist or more than likely to not going Gourgeist? Yeah, so I asked him if he would have gone hard Gourgeist here. So this turn, I could have gone into Immense. I could have locked myself into Outrage. It was a roll at +1 to kill the Gourgeist. And I would have died to that, and then Mega Lopunny could have come in and quick attacked the Zeraora, or fake out into quick attacked the Zeraora and won me the game. But I misplayed, technically, by going Mega Lopunny and claiming the kill on the Kyurem-Black. So had I just gone Mence, clicked Outrage, you know, his only other option... So he would have had 2 options at that point, right? He could have sacked the Zeraora and built up the ToXiC damage against me, and then still had it as a roll against the Gourgeist, but maybe he lives the roll, I die to Rocky Helmet, he gets a Synthesis up, maybe that's his play, then the Gourgeist can 1v1 the Mega Lopunny. Or he goes Gourgeist after the Kyurem-Black, hopes he lives the roll from Outrage, synthesizes up, my Salamence dies, and then I'm in the same position as what's going to happen here, where it's Mega Lopunny versus Gourgeist and Zeraora. It's not my place to necessarily say what his play would have been. I did ask him about it. I don't know what it was. I don't know what would have gone through his mind had I gone Salamence instead. However, I think it was a choke on my part not going Mence here and going Lopunny instead, because this Gourgeist is just going to 1v2 both of these things. And again, as I was in the game, I was thinking the Zeraora was just immune to normal type moves, which is not correct. That is not how the mechanic works. So my Lopunny is going to get burnt here, I think. Yeah, I get burnt here with Mega Lop, and then I can just skip through this. Gourgeist just 1v1s Mega Lop and the Salamence with Leech Seed damage. So we lose 0-2. I do feel like I could have won this game 2-0, and so I think I misplayed there. It's nice to see that I had a solid shot of winning the game, kind of, still, had I just gone Mence, but it still relied on a roll. So the big things to take away here: ToXiC miss on the Zeraora. It stayed in for a bunch of turns. In fact, let's go back and see. Oh my god, why does it got a lag when I go last turn? I want to see how many turns it stayed in for. And then we can calculate the ToXiC damage from there. Okay, so here's where Lopunny killed Klefki, right? So now the Zeraora is in. So this is the first turn of ToXiC damage that it'll take hitting my Raikou. That's 6%. So it should be at 94. Then he's going to take another turn killing my Raikou. So that would be 12%. So then he'd be at 82. Um, so this is 82% Zero Aura. Then Clef comes in. He clicks Work Up. I click Moonblast. 60. No, I did 40%. So 42%, and then he's taking 18% damage. 42% minus 18. 34. 24. So he'd be at 24%. My next Moonblast is going to kill him. He has to swap. It forces him into a different situation where he has to go into something else to eat a Moonblast behind the Reflect instead of killing my Jirachi there. At this point, had he eaten that Moonblast, he'd be dead because he would be taking 24% from ToXiC anyway. So his Zero Aura is now dead. Let's just assume it plays out all the same. Zero Aura is dead. Reflect is up still. I can go Clefable and I can just absolutely blow something back. You know, and then the Goregeist, had I hit the ToXiC on the Goregeist earlier, you know, 85%, he's down to 24, so then he's 73 minus 6%, so he's at 67, and then I go for, I'm locked in Outrage still, so he's up to, sorry, he would have been at 67 minus 59, 6%? No, 8%? 8%. So 58% instead, minus 12. So he'd be at 46. I go hard Drapion here as he swaps out, so he'd be at 46%. That's a guaranteed roll for Outrage to kill him. And I definitely would have gone Salamence on the Kyurem-Black and just clicked Outrage because he would have absolutely died to the Outrage every single time. So I do think the ToXiC misses ended up changing how I thought about this game and how the game played out. You know, Brett played really well the whole way through. I do think I probably win the game with the ToXiC hit on the Goregeist at the very least, because then Goregeist can't just sit in front of my physical attackers forever. I don't know, you know, things might go differently, but that's just sort of how I'm thinking about this game. So we take the loss. We are going to play Gremlin next week. We played Gremlin near the end of last season. He's the South End Stoutlands. Very scary team. He's paired Megalodios and Mamoswine together just like I did last season. So he's got a lot of threats on that team. And it's going to be very hard to prep for. But that's going to be for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys for next week, week 3.